All right, it's part one and part two, or of two parts. We have some data here, some stock data with the expiration date. So first thing we're going to do is DTE, days to expiration. And type in equals, column next to it C2 minus now, and now basically is an Excel function to say the time today. So you'll see that. Comes up, it could come up funky and look like there's a date. Choose the whole column. You can do all column operations. Choose this to turn it into a number. Well, it's fractional, not surprising. So what we need to do now is do one more statement here and say round, open parenthesis, go to the end, hit comma. We went 0 decimal places and close it. Now, that's sweet. Looks great. It's all zeros. So we'll go ahead and reformat this column, get rid of all the zeros. Remember, I chose the whole column. So next step is, now so I stopped raising it, but if I entered a new row here, nothing would show up. So you actually want to drag this way past. So a couple hundred items down, say 200, and you can actually type in here, end of data. So you know how far it goes. But you can see he's got the blank space and it's being a little bit funky. So no bueno. So what we're going to do is we're going to add some additional logic to this, back to this first row. And we're going to basically say if, open parenthesis, C2 equals double quote, right away, right next to each other means empty. So hit comma and basically say just really blank. I don't care. I don't see anything. Another parentheses, another comma, I mean, and go to the end and close your parenthesis. Boom. There you go. Now, if we drag this down, all those will disappear. Perfect. Awesome. All right, so now we know how many days are left. So now we need to group it. So we'll go ahead and type in another equals. We're going to say if this, and we're going to use the less than symbol, 15. That's basically say if it's 14 days or less, give us, hit comma, open parenthesis, type in the word warning or whatever works for you, close, comma, and then we'll type OK, quote, and close. So now it's going to classify it as OK or not. Drag this back down to our data limit down here. Boom. It says OK. Now, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to stop here in this video. Actually, we'll keep going. So the next step is grab all of these and say, I want to insert a pivot chart. You can do table and chart. Let's go ahead and do chart. Normally I do it on a new workbook, but we'll go ahead and do it in an existing workbook. In location, I'm going to stick it right here at the top of the page. Boom. You're going to get this little pivot table, pivot chart. First thing you do is going to drag group into the legend, which is the top. You can see it creates my categories here. Then you're going to drag expiration date, because you need a non-numeric value, something that's not, because by default it's going to try and summarize it. So you put something you can't sum, it'll do a count. See how it says count? You want to see count here. Okay, so we know we have 7 warnings, 21 okay, for a total of 28. Good stuff. But it doesn't really help me. So what you want to do next is drag days to expiration down into the axis. Boom. Now, what we got here, this is a little bit in the way, is you can see that, hey, I have my first warning has 18 days. It's 18 days past due. That's bad, 2 days past due. So this is helpful. So now I can see where these different areas sit. But which one is it? I don't know. I can go look at the warnings, but that's not what we're trying to do here. So now we're going to grab symbol, which could be company name, and drag that underneath DTE. So now you have groupings that basically say Zimmerman's 18 days past due. There's a different Zimmerman that's also 2 days past due. Verizon is due today. Disney and Ford come up in 7 days. Chewy and Star Bulk Carriers come up in 12. So you can kind of see this. Now, this is actually not bad, but you can also go ahead and filter this out and say, oops, I only want to see my ones with warning. So get rid of the blanks and OK. So now you have a little table here. So each time you load this document, it should refresh. But what I would do is just periodically go ahead and hit right click and say refresh. It'll recalculate. So if you add a new record, um, my test record, if I can type right, and we'll call it Dave, and that expires in a couple of days. Warning. Okay. Now, if you reopen the book, it should recalculate it. But I always just go ahead and hit refresh. And now you can see, boom, it's right there. Hopefully this is going to work for you. All right.